Well, welcome back to a reading of A Sleepover to Remember. I'm DaveTerenas.
I'm J.M. Goldstein.
And Star Noble.
And this is the second part of the epic novel. Let's just go back to where we left off, shall we? In the previous scene, what's his name went up to what's her name, and love happened.
And they did stuff, yeah.
Well, let's just get right into it. Hey, he said as he picked up a plate.
Hi, how are you? I asked him as we walked out of the kitchen.
I'm good, Melanie. I was wondering, do you fancy Jay? He questioned me, trying to ask innocently.
They picked you to talk to me, didn't they?
The chosen one. Maybe, but to be honest, I want to know, Melanie, because I think he likes you, he answered.
Oh, I said as we walked up the stairs, my voice dropping as we neared the top. Jay is my best friend, and I love him as a friend, but I don't want to do anything to muck up our friendship.
Muck?
What is muck?
My voice was a bare whisper when we reached my door.
I know he is, Melanie, but you know, if he realizes he likes you, which he will, you've got to go for it, he whispered as he entered the room. I hoped he hadn't realized that I liked Jay. All my feelings had resurfaced in the 2 kisses we had shared. I had always found him physically attractive. I mean, God, those abs. But he was my best friend. Could friendship really turn to relationship? Could friend love change to butt sex? I mean, relationship love? When Paul and I came in the room, I saw Alicia, Laura, Mike, and Jay all standing, looking quite annoyed.
Hey, I asked more than said to them. They all turned to look at me and focused and forced smiles on their faces. Grubs up.
I walked over to my desk turntable and put the pizzas down. I started taking the lids off the boxes and took the first slice of pizza. The others came over and started to get food. I sat down on the bed and Jay came over and sat next to me. I saw Alicia and Laura glance at us, then to each other. Why did they keep doing that? And what had gotten them all pissed off?
Oh, I forgot to tell you all, I said quickly, trying to get rid of the awkward silence. I'm getting a rabbit.
They all laughed.
What kind? Laura asked. She had 2 rabbits.
If you know what I mean. I don't know yet, but Mom promised to get me a rabbit before the start of term. I grinned. They all laughed again. We sat and talked for a while, and every so often I could see Alicia and Laura looking over at Jay and Jay looking at me. What was going on? Jay wasn't talking to Mike either.
Once we had finished the pizza, I put my plate on the table and stretched. I heard them all gasp.
What? I asked him.
What's on your back? Jay asked. Oh shit. Whoops. I had gotten a tattoo at the start of the holidays. You can get a tattoo at 16 nowadays. I mean, you know, if you go to the right places, and they use a pin. I got it on my back. It was a small Celtic design and had all my best friends' names on it.
Oh, I forgot about that. I smiled, hoping they wouldn't kill me.
You forgot you have a tattoo. What does it look like? Paul asked. I pulled up my t-shirt a bit and they all came closer to look at it. It was a few centimeters away from the top of my jeans.
Jay's name was in symbols, but he didn't realize it because he looked hurt. They all looked really shocked at the fact that I had a tattoo. After a while, we all sat down and I took my seat back next to Jay. He looked a little upset. I mean, he has amnesia because he should have seen the tattoo earlier. I won't talk about it. I put my hand on his, and his eyes snapped to me.
Are you okay? He nodded a bit, then turned back to the conversation. So first, he kisses me twice, and now he was basically ignoring me.
What a dick.
I flipped my hand away from his, and I saw him sigh. I got up and grabbed Laura Alicia by the arm.
We'll be back in a minute, guys, I smiled. I dragged him out of the living room and downstairs into the living room.
Right. What the hell is going on? I asked him. They glanced at each other.
Well, when you were taking the pizzas up, we went ahead and asked Jay if he liked you. And he said he wasn't sure. And then Mike said if he broke your heart, he would kick the shit out of him. And then Jay got all defensive, saying he didn't like you in that way, and that maybe if Mike concentrated on his own love life.
Oh, snap!
And looked at me, Laura said. I felt my eyes well up, and I quickly blinked away the tears. And I shouted at him, saying then, why did you tell Mike you liked her? And he couldn't answer it. And Alicia said, ha, there you go then. And then he said, where's your boyfriend, Paul? And then you come in.
Okay. Oh, so do you know why he's pissed off at me then? I asked.
You got all of our names except his on your back, Melanie, Alicia commented.
I lifted up my t-shirt at the back and pointed to the 3 symbols.
That's his name. I wanted it to show you that he was different from all of you. Not that I don't like you any less. I mean, I love you too like you're my sisters. Mike and Paul are really close to me, but me and Jay's friendship is special, and I don't quite understand why. I told them.
Damn, girl. Oh, yeah.
I guess we're not doing British accents anymore.
I guess not. They suddenly turned ghetto.
Alright, let's do this.
Yeah. Yes, son. You fall without realizing it. That don't happen a lot, Alicia said, laughing.
What?
You obviously love him, Melanie. Whoa. Okay. It's obvious. That's why your friendship is special, because you want to be more than that. And I think he does too. But he's too afraid.
What a pussy.
Like you are. Well answered. Oh, that was a lot of information in one go.
Yeah. Do I asked him.
We started to notice before the school went off, he kept holding your hand and staring at you in class. And today when he kissed you, and he basically admitted it, Laura said.
Oh. Okay, we should probably go back up, I said. I smiled at them falsely and we retreated back upstairs. For the first time that night, I didn't hover at the door. I just went right in. I sat down where I was sitting and didn't even bother to say hi to Jay. I could tell he was about to say something to me, so I spoke.
So, Mike, how was your dad? What? I asked Mike.
Oh, he's good, thanks for asking, Mike replied. Many of the times we had been at Mike's house, his dad was really nice. But he had a funny turn for a bit, but he was fine now.
A funny turn, like a odd prostitute?
I was reading this book the other day, the one that you gave me to read, you know.
Catcher in the Rye.
How to Become Popular.
Oh.
Melanie. Catcher in the Rye is kind of the opposite, actually. It was really fascinating about how a person reacts when they find out they're falling in love. I mean, the boy just totally doesn't tell us for what years was it, Melanie? Laura was stirring something up. Yeah, and then he told her she was his best friend, by the way. And she loved him back, and then they got together. I wonder if that would ever happen to anyone we know.
Mm-hmm. I felt Jay's eyes flicker to me, and everyone looked to see our reaction.
Of course, Laura. Love isn't that easy. People end up getting hurt. If you were told that someone loved you and you didn't love them back, it would hurt for both of you. Or if you were in love and a boy who was too much of a shit brain to realize that you did and gave you mixed signals, what would you do? I said to her, knowing that wavelength she was on.
Ooh. So that is true, Melanie, but as you've said many times, I know you believe in love. I see it in your eyes. Love conquers all. If you love someone, don't just ignore it. Ignoring love just leads to heartbreak. We all know enough people who have enough heartbreak in their life. Alicia said, commenting on to what we were doing.
Wow. This just got deep.
It is rather.
Okay. I guess love affects people in different ways. I mean, some get really clingy. Some get really scared. Some get distant because they fail to realize the power of it. Some need a restraining order. And then there are those who ignore it completely, even when it's staring them right in the face. They are too silly to realize it, I commented. The boys were looking interested in our conversation, but confused. Love is patient. Love is kind. I know where this is going. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects with Trojan. Always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verses 4 through 8. Dang.
This just got really real right here. I was just making a point. I apologize for making fun of.
Yeah.
How do you remember that? Paul laughed.
I believe in love, and I believe it's stronger than any emotion in the world, I stated. I felt Jay tense beside me. Jay's hand found mine and held it. I looked at Laura, who also saw that he had taken my hand. Her face matched mine in confusion. I didn't remove my hand from his grasp.
So she...
I take back what I said about apologizing. Let's just keep reading.
She believes in love, but not in the Bible that she's quoted.
Let's just keep reading.
Yeah.
We gotta get through this.
So, Melanie, anyone caught your fancy lately? Mike asked with a smirk on his face. Obviously, he had noticed Jay's hand.
Yeah, some guys in America are seriously fit, I grinned.
Holla.
Jay's grip on my hand tightened, although I'm still pretty cut up on a guy I used to like a couple of years ago.
They all looked shocked. They obviously thought I was going to say him.
I mean, Mr. Brim was bloody hot. I used to stare at him in class and masturbate when I sat at the front.
Whoa!
I smirked. Jay's eyes met mine and he forced a weak smile.
Right. Who wants to watch a movie? I grinned. They all nodded. We decided to watch the last Harry Potter film, 7B. We're going to go downstairs and get it. Mom had it a couple of weeks ago.
I got up and made for the door and realized Jay was following me. We walked down in silence. When we reached the living room, Jay grabbed my hand and pulled me to face him.
What is it, Jay? I asked.
Did Laura tell you what happened while you were getting the pizzas? He asked.
I just like to parenthetically point out, reading this beforehand, that this is the part where things start getting weird. Not that they have been weird before, but I would brace yourself. Okay? Just keep that in mind.
Hold on to your butt.
Yes, I answered him, and he looked instantly angry. Look, I don't care if you like me or whatever, but why in the hell did you kiss me? What made you think that I would want to be lit on? Jay, you're my best friend. Why would you want to do that to me?
You! Do you not realize how much this has affected me? He roared at me. Oh my God. I was actually quite scared. I don't blame you. I don't understand why you say you're my best friend and you got a friggin' tattoo of everyone's name but mine. You say we're closer than anyone, yet you never realize I like you? I'm flipping the table over.
I didn't get your name tattooed on me. I turned around and lifted up my shirt. I twisted my arm around and pointed to the symbols. There's your name. It's in symbols because you have a different relationship. And I didn't realize until an hour ago that I liked you in that way.
It worked. He turned me back around and kissed me for the third time that day. It was more passionate than the first two because we were both angry. We broke apart and stared at each other. Laura's voice called from upstairs, wondering if we had found the movie. I went to the cabinet and found it. I turned to Jay.
We'll talk about this later. he told me, grabbing my hand softly and pulling me upstairs. We went into my room and saw that everyone had gotten comfy. Laura and Mike were sitting closely together on the couch, and a little bit along from them was Paul and Alicia. They had left the whole of my bed to us. What did they think we were going to do? Shag? Right there and then with Austin Powers?
What exactly does that mean?
I thought it was a rug. Which brought me to another point. What was going on between us? I just don't know. I put the DVD in the DVD player. That's normal. And it turned on. Okay. I turned around to see Jay, half sitting, half lying on the bed. He smiled and beckoned me over. I walked over and was confused as to where he wanted me to sit. I have an idea. He pulled me down onto him and then tucked me in with his arm around me. I laughed.
Would you two stop shagging in front of us? You'll have plenty of time to do that when you're married. Alicia moaned. I scolded at her. He pulled me in closer as the movie started. I felt Jay's hand go to my tattoo and traced the circle for ages.
You may need to stop that.
The film was really sad, but I loved it. I loved Harry Potter, but it made me cry a lot. I was blubbering at some points, and Jay looked down at me protectively.
Are you okay? He whispered.
I just get sad at this movie. I smiled. I looked at Alicia and Paul. He had his arm around her, and I felt the urge to say something. Then Mike and Laura were sitting glued to the screen. My eyes traveled to Jay, who was watching the screen. I bent my head forward and kissed him on the cheek. He looked down at me in surprise, then grinned. I turned my attention back to the TV, and then I felt his lips on my ear and neck.
Finally, I don't have to read one.
Oh, God. I smirked at him. It was nearing the end of the film when I realized through my crying. Spoilers. Brett had died. Oh, okay. Friends were staring at us.
Oh, what's going on, guys? I asked them. Jay had stopped kissing my neck.
Are you kissing her neck? Alicia screamed.
Really, no. You cheeky monkey.
No, I'm not going to try it.
Yeah, is there a problem with it? With that? He grinned. I blushed as the others looked at us incredulously.
No. Are you two together now? Laura asked.
I didn't actually know if we were.
Wait 2 seconds and I'll find out. Jay grinned. He turned his face to me.
I love you, Mel. Will you go out with me? Jay said, looking me in the eye. He just said he loves me. He loves me. Me? He loves me?
I love you too, and yes, I will. I grinned. He smiled and pressed his lips to mine and toppled on top of me.
Ooh, vagina.
I kissed him back. We broke apart and smiled at each other.
Love you, Jay. I smiled.
Love you, Mel. He grinned. Oh, Laura, by the way, me and Mel are going out.
It's like a frickin' love story, Laura screamed.
Almost.
I laughed at her childlikeness.
Paul? I asked. He turned and quirked. There's that word again. An eyebrow at me. Kiss Alicia.
What? He asked, shocked.
Kiss Alicia right now, I growled. He looked confused once more. Alicia tapped him on the shoulder and he turned around to see her, and then she plastered her face to him. I clapped and Jay wolf whistled.
Finally, Laura and Mike said at the same time. Alicia and Paul broke apart and grinned.
I guess we're all happy, and I was in love. Alicia finally got the boy, and Laura, well, she and Mike looked kind of cozy.
It was 2 o'clock before we all decided to go, oh my God, to sleep. We pulled out the couch into a bed, and at one end, Alicia and Paul slept, and at the other, Mike and Laura. On my bed, Jay and I lay with his arms around me.
And that's all they... How long have you liked me, Jay? I mumbled against his now bare chest. We had gotten changed, and Jay thought it was funny to just wear his boxers to bed. I wasn't complaining, but it made me overprotective of where I put my limbs.
For about 2 years now, he grinned. I choked.
Really? I asked. He nodded. Well, I'm glad to know you like me then.
Is this how they do it in
English? I don't live there.
I won't question. I don't just like you, okay? I totally love you.
I love you too, I whispered, moving my lips up to meet his. He kissed me back and slipped his tongue into my mouth. I wrapped my hands around his neck, and he put his on my waist.
Calm down, you two. Do it in the morning after we leave, I heard Mike mumble. I grinned and leaned my head into his neck.
Good night, love, I whispered.
Good night, darling, he whispered into my ear.
And with that, we fell into deep sleep and dreamed of the journey that was just beginning. The end.
Group hug, guys.
Woo!
Well, sleepover to remember.
Fabulous.
Let's forget it.
When it was talking about love near the middle there, I felt like it really was. I felt like that part was well written. I thought but the rest of it.
But yeah, it's totally reasonable to say the word. The only cuss word you use is shit, and then quote the Bible. That's great for stories.
Sleepover to remember. I guess that's about it. Thanks for listening.
My balls just shrank.
Indeed. See you next time.